Guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's your girl here, Caroline. I know it's been quite a while since I uploaded a new video, but I'm doing fine and I hope that you're doing fine too. So guys, today I want us to talk about a very interesting topic. And I know that this is something that we've all experienced, or something that we, in one way or the other, we've gone through. But before I tell you what we will be talking about today, if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. I give you 1 minute to do so. Kindly hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment down below. So my people, today I want us to talk about emotional pain. This is something that I've been thinking about all through. You know, when growing up, we were all taught on how to become successful, how to raise your self-esteem, how to become confident, and so many other things. But one thing I have never had someone talk about, or rather someone take us through how to manage emotional pain. And it's unfortunate because this is something that we are all experiencing in our lives each and every day. And when I talk about emotional pain comes through many ways. It could be grief, loss, maybe loss of someone that is close to you. It could be heartbreak, toxic relationships, and so many other things. I know you all understand. And there's one thing to note about emotional pain, that there is no one, absolutely no one, that can walk you out of that emotional pain. You are the only one who can walk yourself out of. So guys, to just mention, emotional pain could come through 3 ways, or rather there are 3 types of emotional pain, and that is situational pain, there is self-inflicted pain, and there is pain that has been inflicted by other people. And when we talk about self-inflicted pain, this is where you've done something that has caused you to go through the emotional pain, and most of the time you realize that this self-inflicted pain, it doesn't go on its own. Most of the time it goes with pain that has been inflicted by someone else, but you realize that somehow you also played a part in it. And the other one is situational pain. And when I talk about situational pain, this is pain that you found yourself in it. You had no way of control it. Somehow it's just the situations, it's just the surrounding, you found yourself in it, and somehow it has caused you that emotional pain. So guys, those are the 3 types of emotional pain. So guys, out of the 3 types of emotional pain, there is one emotional pain that is so hard for us, or rather for most of the people, to overcome, and that is emotional pain that has been caused, or rather inflicted, by other people. It could be people who are very close to us, or rather someone who is far from us. But most of the time you find that the most hurting things are caused by the people who are so close to you. And so guys, you realize overcoming this type of emotional pain, it's so hard for most of us. And it's good to note that something like situational pain, this is something that you've just found yourself in it, and most of the time we don't have control over it. And so guys, I want us to concentrate most on the pain that has been caused or inflicted by someone else. So my people, as I said at the beginning of this video, that you are the only one who can walk yourself out of emotional pain. You have to be so determined. You have to be so willing to get out of that situation. But then on the other hand, most of the time we keep quiet about the emotional pain because we don't even know whether we are going through something that we need help, or rather we need to talk about. Every time we keep telling ourselves we are okay, but we are not. Yes, you are the only one who can walk yourself out of that pain, but then it's right that you kind of talk, or rather let it out, share it with people. Maybe somehow you will get relieved. You will not harbor so much pain inside of you. When you talk about something, there is a way you get to release that pain. So my people, there's one thing to note, and this is very, very important, that when emotional pain becomes so overwhelming, this is what it does. It makes your emotions to rise against your logic. And this is dangerous, because when emotions rise beyond logic, that is the moment now we stop thinking. And you realize at that point, if you've ever seen someone who is going through so much emotional pain, most of the time we say, this person, it's like they're not thinking. Like their actions, they're just unbelievable. This is because emotions have raised beyond logic. And without even realizing it, you stop thinking. So my people, this is the time when you realize that you're going through emotional pain and you're getting overwhelmed. This is the right time to call yourself in a meeting. You call yourself in a meeting, you try to collect yourself. Despite how painful it is, you try to collect yourself. And at this point, you're supposed to try and suppress the emotions. You suppress your emotions, and now, intentionally, you start applying your mind. So my people, after doing my research, because this is also something that I've gone through, after doing my research, there are several points, or rather several ways that I've noted that can help you ease this emotional pain, or a few ways that can help you to be able to overcome it. And it is not a one-day thing. You have to keep doing it each and every day. At the end of it all, you will be able to overcome it. But this is not a one-day thing. At times, you will even work so hard, and then at some point you realize it's still not over. And some of the ways that I have noted that can help us to be able to overcome this emotional pain. One, it's to allow yourself to feel the way you do. What do I mean? In maybe when you've lost someone that is very close to you, if you have happened to talk to the counselors, somehow they tell you cry as much as you can. And this is what I mean when I say, when you're going through emotional pain, allow yourself to feel the way you do. If you feel angry, don't restrict yourself from getting angry. Allow yourself to feel angry. If you feel sad, allow yourself to be sad. And if you feel like crying, allow yourself to cry. That is the first step to healing emotionally. Allow yourself to feel the way you do. It's not a sign of weakness. In fact, I call it a sign of strength. That is the first point. And the other thing, my people, it's to accept that someone has hurt you. It's to accept that someone has been unfair to you. And this is one thing that most of the time we don't accept. And unfortunately, it is still the same thing that makes us get hurt again. You are hurt today, and then tomorrow you are still hurt again. Why? Because right from the word go, you didn't accept that someone hurt you. And what do? Most of the time, I'm like, this and this person did this to me because they were going through some kind of stress. This and this person did this to me, like we try to defend them like they didn't know what they are doing. Or rather, we all look for all kind of excuses. At maybe he had a bad day at work. Maybe this person, their background has made them be like this. No, in my view, stop defending a mistake. Let a mistake be called a mistake. Because one thing that I have come to believe, or rather I've come to know, it's that people don't do things without their knowledge. They know, because I want to assume if someone comes and abuses me, I'll hurt. And they will say, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But then on the other hand, I keep asking myself, if I went and did the same thing to that person, they will be so quick to notice that I abused them, and they will be angry. So then how does someone say, I didn't know? This is wrong. I believe that when someone is doing something, they are fully aware of it, and we should not brush it off. Don't defend a mistake. Don't say that they didn't know, or rather it's because they were going through something. The first thing is to accept that that person hurt you. Accept that that person was unfair to you. Okay, when you're going through emotional pain, you only have two options. And the two options are to remain wounded or to learn a lesson from the pain that you've been caused to go through. And it's you to decide. The choice is yours. You decide to remain wounded, or you decide to learn a lesson from it. And the only lesson, you will only be able to learn a lesson from it once you accept that someone has hurt you and they were unfair to you, so that next time you will be careful to let yourself go through the same hurt, or rather to go through the same thing again. You have to accept that someone was unfair to you. Accept it. Don't defend them, and don't look for excuses on their behalf. Call a spade a spade. Point number 3, my people. This is something that I don't know, but for some reasons we all go through it so much, and this is called believing in false beliefs. This is when someone has hurt me, or rather it could be a grief also. Maybe you've lost a spouse or someone that is very close to you, and somehow this happens naturally. We keep telling ourselves, because I've lost this person, my life will never be the same again. Because my spouse has left me for someone else, I tell myself my life will never be the same again. This is what I'm calling false beliefs. Maybe someone has heartbroken you, and you're like, this person, she has or he has left me because I'm less, because I'm not beautiful, and so many other things that we keep telling ourselves. This is what I'm calling false beliefs. This is the major thing that somehow makes our emotions to rise beyond our logic, because this is something that is not even true in the first place, but we keep preaching to ourselves. We keep telling ourselves it happened because of this and that. This is one thing that you need to do everything to suppress, because if someone has hurt you, it's not about you. And if something has happened, doesn't mean that your life is going to completely change. Something good actually can come out of it. And it's one thing to notice that whenever something doesn't work in your life, later on in life, you will come to realize it was for your good. It might take some time, yes, but somehow something good also will be born out of it. It might not happen immediately. This is something that we realize later. Those things that we say in a way, it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe something like that. So every time you've been hurt, stop preaching to yourself some negative things. Stop telling yourself it happened because of this and that. You have to realize that when someone has hurt you, it has nothing to do with you. It is because of them. And it is not because you did this and that. Someone who is intentional about hurting you, either whether you're good, despite how good you try to be, they will still hurt you. So it's not about them. You just try to deal with the grief, try to deal with the pain, try to deal with that emotional pain, and stop believing in those false beliefs. That is the other point, my people. And the last thing, my people, it's God factor. Okay, I know maybe to some people it doesn't make sense, but to me, God factor is one of the best ways to be able to overcome emotional pain. And when I talk about God factor, I mean you cannot leave God in most of the things in your life. So for me, God is the center of everything in my life. And one thing that I've realized, or rather, I've made God my friend, because God understands us with our weaknesses. And when you're going through something, or rather when I'm going through something, I've always learned to make God my friend. When I'm so hurt, when I'm in so much pain, I talk to God as my friend. And I tell God, this is what I did, this is what this and this person did to me. God, just help me to ease the pain. And you realize there's sometimes you go sharing things to people and you end up being more frustrated than the way you were before. And so one thing that I've realized, before I go talk to other people, I first of all talk to God, because He will not judge me. He will understand me. If I'm the one on the wrong, He will forgive me, and He will give me the grace to move on. He will teach me on how to overcome it. And the moment I let myself out when praying, somehow it makes me feel that relief. Because at the end of the day, I'll finish praying, nobody will judge me, nobody will conclude their things as if it's just me and God. So for me, you cannot rule out God factor. For me, it's something that you need God each and every day of your life. So my people, those are some of the points, or rather those are some of the ways that in my view has also helped me somehow to be able to go through the emotional pain. And there is one thing to note, my people: each and every scar in our lives, it should not weigh us down. People will hurt you, people will frustrate you, people will disappoint you, situations will weigh you down. You will be, at times you even get to a point and you're like, how do I just make it in life? That is the point you get and you're like, which way do I go? Should I just stay here? But then you realize that the past can change your present, or can change your future, or the past can abort your future. So you have to forget the past. Yes, you can't forget completely, but then you have to allow yourself to move on. You have to teach yourself to let go. You have to teach yourself to let go. You have to teach yourself to allow yourself to heal. I know it is the hardest thing, but you have to allow yourself to heal. You have to teach yourself to forgive. It doesn't happen in one day, but you have to teach yourself to forgive. And also, there's one thing that you also have to note, that most of the time, we expect that the people that have hurt us, that they will be the one to help us go through the pain, or rather they will help us to get out of the emotional pain. But it is unfortunate because they will never come. Most of the time you will expect that they will come to apologize, but they will not. Most of the time you will expect that they will realize that they did this and that mistake, but they will not. And the more you keep expecting them to come back, the more hurt you become. The more your emotional pain will keep increasing and piling. So my people, once you realize that you're doing this for yourself, you're not doing it for anyone else, then you will have to teach yourself to let go. Don't make your scars weigh you down, but let your scars communicate hope in your life. So my people, that is what I had for today. I hope that you get to learn something from it. I hope that it helps you in one way or the other. And my people, you can share this video with your friends and tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment.